passionate homes. Hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas. Over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs. 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders. Over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared. Acquisition of brand new aircraft for Umo Air. Advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport. Donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants. Advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center. Primary healthcare renaissance. Launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services. Establishment of the Center for the Elderly. Construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. Establishment of a central security control center. Procurement of vehicles and security gadgets for security operatives in the state. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Hello, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. It's week 2, day 8 of the special media adventure put together by Bush House Nigeria in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, Akwa Ibom State. It all started 8 days ago when we signal this audacious attempt by us to take stock holistically of the almost 2 years of the Umo Eno administration, and it comes in the form of a series entitled Governor Umo Eno at 2, 29 guests, 29 days, barring some additional guests, if you don't mind. And today on the show, our focus, as it is in our character every day, we come up with a theme, and then we talk on that theme, and we try to create some narratives around the theme and draw some nexus between such a theme and the almost 2 years of the impactful strides of Governor Umo Eno. Today on the program, a searchlight mount on the 30-year-old Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, fully owned by the state government, and so the theme is the impact of the 2-year administration of Governor Umo Eno on Aqua Savings and Loans Limited. 3 shakers and movers of that bank are going to be joining us, so we do justice to that theme. The studio is filled to the brim, if you like, and I'm seated from start, and it's going to be to finish with the boss himself, the president at large, Bush House Nigeria, Akparawa Michael Bush. Is here seated. Good afternoon.
Very nice, Chairman.
So
very nice to be here. Fantastic. Fantastic show.
All right, so today also we're being joined by an array of panelists. Okay, starting with Raphael is the second son of the political leader of V2. The other time he was here firing some shots.
So Raphael Henry Achibong.
Raphael Henry Achibong, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have a regular face, in-house translator in chief, Akparawa Chief Sylvanus Akpan. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Good evening or good afternoon, viewers.
So you come back.
There's also Chukwuagu. Chukwuagu is one-time Director General of the 20 Questions Community, one of the Michael Bush mentoring platforms, and right now he's a member, front bencher at Michael Bush Mentoring Academy. I think it belongs to class 2024. I also need to quickly add, he's a doctoral candidate at the University of Uyo. Etine Karika is a second year student at Communication and Media Studies faculty of the University of Uyo, and behind me is a registrar of the 20 questions, of the Michael Bush Mentoring Academy. He don't say now who himself is an author. I'm talking about authors from Ikonon Duini.
Yeah.
Comes this one.
Wow.
The Success Secrets of Cristiano Ronaldo. The book by Dr. Demenana. And this book just came out of print today, and I'm just the first.
But I think it was unveiled during his 60th birthday.
Yes, absolutely. But this book was not part of that. There was a second book. There was another book. This is the first copy, and I'm privileged that he decided I needed to have the first copy, and I just got it. Fantastic book. We try and see what is inside as we progress. Yes.
All right, beautiful. So we're going to be joined by the trio for the chairman of the board of directors for Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, Mr. Peter Iudo.
Yeah.
He joins us alongside a very regular name in the Akiko, family, in the business development family for the Akwa Ibom State government.
Yes.
Right from
he's a board member. Yes, he's a board member.
Right from era, this name has always been recurring.
Yes, he's a board member.
Mr. Mobasi
Jacobs. If you like, Pastor Mobasi Jacobs.
Pastor Mobasi.
Yeah, but he's also here because he's on the board.
Absolutely. He's a member of the board of directors.
And then, of course, there is the MD.
Yes.
Who comes from Uruan, not Ikono. That's the
some bragging right today.
So the MD, the managing director and chief executive officer of Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, is an Uruan man. He's done us proud. Okay, some of these intros, since they are not even on air with us, when they come, we'll repeat, so there's no need to say too much. But Pastor, Doctor Imeokun, they are all in the building. We're just waiting for them to step into the live studios so that we can take them on bed.
Okay, so what a day indeed. Today we've decided to dedicate the entirety of our package to Aqua Savings.
Absolutely. There's so much to talk about.
We just pray that the money will be coming with this kind of
absolutely. I know they're doing something massive tomorrow. Yes, they're doing something massive tomorrow in New York. And let's talk with the panelists about Aqua Savings, Rafa.
But just before that, let's do remind our listeners, our viewers.
I know.
The big thing.
Yes, let's go. Absolutely. 2 million naira to be
2
won
million naira on the aggregate to be won, and the first prize winner will go home with
1 million
naira.
What kind of essay will you ever write and you win 1 million?
Just playing with 200 words, and you take home 1 million naira.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, so the second prize winner will go home with 600,000 naira, and the third prize winner will go home with 400,000 naira. Now, these three monetary rewards or awards will be presented by no other person than His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State on the 29th of May 2025, when he is going to be our live studio guest, and that should mark the climax for this series. So all you need to do is, in not more than and not less than 200 words. You need to really take that.
Absolutely.
Take that on that.
1 million is not more money.
Yeah, so you have
to win 1 million.
So it shouldn't be more than 200 words. It shouldn't be less than 200 words. Okay, so why don't we just take the infomercial so you get to find out what we're talking about. So a quick break. Immediately we'll come back from the break, which is going to talk about the competition that we just try to portray. We'll get to talking with our panelists, by which time we are hopeful that our guests would have.
The guests will be seated right on the heels of the break. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. So the break now, and we're back in no time.
This is an information. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Ibom Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor, establishment of a central security control center, procurement of vehicles and security gadgets for security operatives in the state. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Umo Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor, establishment of a central security control center, procurement of vehicles and security gadgets for security operatives in the state. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service.
It's so good to have you back. Okay, so the die is cast. Our guests are seated, and it's our pleasure to inform you once again that we've decided to dedicate the entirety of today's edition of the program that has the theme, the impact of for the 2 years of Governor Umo Eno PhD on Akwa Savings and Loans Limited. Now, I said in the course of the intro that this is a bank that's almost fully owned, by the state government, fully owned by the state government. And it's 30 years old
this year.
This year, and it needed to wait till 30 years before this big metamorphosis, just switching from its age-long name, 30-year-old name, to something else that's going to be unveiled tomorrow. And that's why on the show today we're being joined by the chairman of the board of directors of Akwa Savings and Loans Limited, very good-looking Mr. Peter Iodo. Thanks for joining us, Chairman.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And then we have a man that I said, in the course of introducing this program, that is a recurring decimal. Whenever you see a governor comes on board, almost since the Obonwata era, am I even sure it didn't start from the
military era?
From the military era or from the Obonwapani ceremony era. But this is a recurring decimal. Whenever the government of Akwa Ibom State looks for a man that will help translate his business ideas into something that can drive the economy of the state, they will always go looking for Pastor Imobasi Jacob. He joins us today because he's a member of the board of directors of Akwa Savings and Loans Limited, but he doubles as the managing director of Akiko. So good to have you here, Pastor.
Akiko.
Akiko.
Investment Corporation. Thanks for having me.
All right. And then this one has
the only run man on the
Again, I'm only, I'm consoled. Just over the weekend.
Yes, you had all iconic.
This place was inundated with economic people. So we've just decided to donate, today to run people. So joining us is the managing director of
Chief Executive
Officer of the bank. That's Akwa Savings and Loans Limited. A very successful banker who left the conventional commercial banking space and decided to come do this for Akwa Ibom people. Pastor Dr.
Umo Eno.
So good to have you here, Pastor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uncle, I just seek your indulgence and take one short minute, and read this. Interesting guest. Many years ago, I met Mr. Peter Ederudo at Abuja International Airport. He was stranded as he needed to send a parcel back to Uyo. He approached me to help him. I did not know who he was. And in Nigeria, it's not advisable to answer strangers at the airport. But in my usual fashion, I answered him. He explained his situation without still disclosing who he was, and I accepted to help. I told him not to worry, that I will ensure the parcel gets to, wait for it, Aqua Savings and Loans Limited. And I took it there by myself. The next day I was in my mother's house telling her about my experience at the airport, only to mention the man's name. And she screamed, "That's my cousin." I sent mom's picture to the man. He too screamed, "You are Messi's son?" Small world. His daughter was in my school at Top Faith International Secondary School. It was interesting that out of all the people in Abuja airport on that day, it was me he approached, almost like fate connected us. And this is also a lesson on discernment. Sometimes you should not judge people from the looks of their situation. If I had brushed him off as one of those staffs at the airport, I would not have known that I was helping one of the pillars of Akwa Ibom State. Pastor Imo Basi Jacob is also a very good elderly friend and father figure of mine. He played a pivotal role in Unipro's emergence as the lead consultant of Akwa Ibom State on solid minerals development. Working with him has shown me that there are still men of character in Akwa Ibom State. He does not regard the fact that we have strong family ties. When it comes to business, though, he treats everyone based on merit. As for Pastor Dr. Ime Okondi, MD and CEO, I'm looking forward to meeting him when he opens the branch in Abuja. My name is David Raymond Edet. I live in Abuja. Fantastic point to take off. Yes, I just got
beautiful
that. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that David will be able to join us live from Abuja in the course of the program. Yes, MD shoot. MD, you want to be MD? No, you want to be MD. Yes. No, because we can.
We want to see if that's prophetic.
If that's prophetic. That's what I do on air.
Okay. Who knows? I'm already a small MD in a very small scale, so we're looking forward to becoming the kind of MD that that doctor is. Okay, so it's good to have you on the show. Let me start with you. We'll just check it.
We'll start with the chairman, of course.
Yes. Of course, the chairman. Okay, so by the way, those are beautiful accolades on you. I mean, by your cousin, by your nephew. Okay, I'm sure you later, got to meet him. Yes. Interesting. So let me start by congratulating you. Aqua Savings, that you preside over its board, is 30 years old today.
Not today.
It's 30 years old. This year. Okay, September.
Yes.
Okay, 30 years old this September. How does it make you feel that 30 is quite a symbolic year? I mean, 3 decades. I don't know when you start hearing of Aqua Savings, and I don't know if it's ever occurred to you that a time will come that you'll be the chairman on its board. So how does it make you feel that Aqua Savings is clocking 30 this is September?
Oh, well, thank you for the question. Really, let me start from those nice words from Raymond. It's quite amazing what happens in life. The last time I spoke with Raymond was about 3 years ago, and before today. Now at Abuja Airport today, while waiting for my flight, I called Raymond.
Can you imagine? Today?
Yes, today. I called Raymond.
It's not as if that message is not even on your
nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not even on your Facebook that would think he saw the
he
message.
sent me a private message.
It just came to my mind and I called him. Only to come and hear his name here. So God be praised. Yes, so it's actually God has his ways, and 30 is just a number for us. Aqua Savings is an investment of Akwa Ibom State. Is a strategic investment. That means that the outlook is both a business that, in the future or at any point in time, right from inception, should bring in scores of returns to the investors, being Akwa Ibom the owner. And beyond that, is strategically positioned to drive so many things. Drive employment, drive habitat, drive business funding, drive all of the things that the financial services sector could drive in an advantageous note to the Akwa Ibom people. So it was quite strategic. And why I'm bringing in that aspect of strategy is that it looks far beyond the 30 years. I like the way you mentioned being MD. Who knows? Because we are looking at, like you said, Abuja office, yes. That may not take long. The trajectory the bank is going, we are looking at a situation that strategically to the founders, I believe, had looked at the possibility of going out there, harvesting opportunities in other lands and bringing the proceeds back to Akwa Ibom, which may not even end in Nigeria. So as long as people think housing, as long as people think real estate mortgage, things to do with habitation of either people or businesses, we're looking at an institution that will stay the race. And that's what we've been trying to redo Akwa Savings to become.
Absolutely.
So the 30 years just coincides with this time, which, as we'll discuss further, God has made it such that we must do this, rebirth. The rebirth, yes. Yeah. We have become born again.
Absolutely.
So now we need a new Christian.
Yeah, sure. So, and it's good that you have a pastor.
Oh, we have
pastors.
Oh, we're all pastors.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll pray over the new name.
Okay, so let me take up your director, who himself is MDF kick off. I'm just wondering about 2015. That's when Akwa Savings tended to go south. How did government, the Akwa Ibom State government, know enough? Is that how to ask this question? How did it come up with this crop of you, the board and management, to be able to rescue the bank and turn it around the way you have? Is that a fair question to you?
We're here for all questions.
Well, yeah, Itoro said that.
But it's a good question.
Absolutely.
Because preceding that timeline, by the way, this is my second coming on the board. I was first appointed into the board in 2006. I was the chairman of the board at that time. So we met an institution that was less than financial, because it is expected that in the financial services industry, certain things, certain minimums must be in place. We met an institution that didn't have an account. There was no books of account. We made an institution then that the staff loan was about 60% of the entire loan portfolio of the bank. And so in 2015, the trajectory had to change. Of course, during my short tenure as chairman for about 2 years, we launched out a transformation program. For the first time, we produced an account. It was something simple, but not easy to achieve. And then we brought new leadership from outside the state. The then Akwa was recruited by a body that is called Financial Institution Training Center, FITC. We commissioned that institution to go look for a credible a candidate to be the MD of the bank. I remember what Akwa said to me. He said he never knew that you could attend interview in Nigeria without knowing anybody, get appointment without knowing anybody, and yet he was the best. And so we got a lady out of Lagos to head the accounts department, and that's how we were able to produce an account. So your question in context is that the then government or governor had to do something different, and it all starts with the human capital that you put in an institution such as this. So the quest for a high performing institution, a quest to make sure that this institution yield dividend back to the shareholders, must have led to the assemblage of the current crop of directors. I joined them later on, my later descent. I joined them later on, and when I came on board, I met this fine man, this young man, who is a different species.
It's from Uran. It's from Uran.
No, it's not from. Yeah, not listed in the Air Force.
You can't be too sure. You can't be too sure.
So we met the chair, Peter. We have the Linus Nkan. We have Okunokun. These are solid bankers, solid professionals, and so I found space and I found comfort and make our little contribution, and that's why we can say today that the Aqua saving today is different from the Aqua saving that I made in 2006 and the Aqua saving of 2015. We're moving higher and higher, and it has to be that we were waiting for this blossoming. We're waiting for it during the golden era, and I think that's where the story should
absolutely. But yes, the story is going to go to this era, of course. But there's the MD and CEO who was were you in Sierra Leone when you were drafted in? No,
I was in Sierra Leone.
You were in Sierra Leone. Which bank? Keystone?
I was the MD of Sierra Leone, Keystone.
Keystone. But before then you would work for Zenith.
Zenith.
Okay, so why will you leave, why will you fly blind like that? You were doing well, you were in a bank, and then suddenly they say, okay, come and do something new, even though it's in your home. Why did you accept that? And when you got to office the first day in 2021, yes, what did you find on the ground?
Bush, thank you so much. I'm excited for this line of actions and discussions. Yeah, in 2020 I was contacted to come in and play the role of an MD of a mortgage bank. As at that time, I had 2 years to finish my tenure in Sierra Leone as the MD CEO of Keystone Bank in Sierra Leone. For me, it was something exciting. Exciting in the sense that I was not looking at money. I was looking at how can I impact my people. I have been doing banking for years. I've been the MD of Keystone Bank in Gambia, MD of Keystone Bank in Uganda, and of course Sierra Leone. Bush, you know, in life, sometimes your satisfaction may not really be what other people are thinking. For me, coming home was like, wow, it's an opportunity for me to meet people like Bush, opportunity for me to meet people like Pastor Imobasi and my chairman. I was looking forward to meeting people. That was the #1 driving force. But I must confess today, when I came in and they showed me the balance sheet of the bank, it was a bit sad.
Wanted to run back?
Yes, it was sad.
Wanted to run back? Did you want to run back?
Yes, that came too. But I was like, if I run back, people would think he came for something else. But with the driving force, what actually drove me to come down was to make a difference. And that was what sustained me. So I told God, I said, whatever it is, this is like a branch of where I'm coming from. In Sierra Leone, I ran 12 branches. In Uganda, 16. I'm coming to do micro banking per se. But the joy of coming home was so exciting. And I made a promise to myself, I must add value. I must create impact. There must be a difference. That was a sustaining factor that kept me from that year till now. And for now, I think with the little resources in our hand, we have made a great impact.
All right, so okay, so Chairman, even though we're not going to dwell so much on the inglorious past, but we can't make progress without actually, you know, dissecting all the ugly things that happened back then. I got awestruck when Pastor Jacob mentioned that a bank would exist without basic books of accounts. I also can recall there was a time, you know, this state-owned radio station would reel out names of debtors, you know, and so I like to ask, how did all of this happen? And the sledgehammer of the central bank did not descend on Aqua Savings.
Okay, let's put it this way. There is at any point an advantage to bearing your father's name.
Absolutely.
If he has a good name. And Akwa Ibom has a good name.
That's really deep.
even far back.
That's a good thing to say.
And also, don't forget, once you're identified with the government, you're identified with the assets of that government. So it's like you're a Nigerian asset or you're a Nigerian business. It's assumed even by foreign investors that you are guaranteed by the assets of the Federation and all of that. So the CBN was, I must say, a little bit gracious with a couple of forbearing tendencies because this was a bank owned by a state that has in so many ways shown that they can hold up to what's theirs. Now, that is on one part. On the other part is when you hear no financial reports, no statements of accounts and all of that. It has to do with, like you heard when Pastor Imobasi and the MD said, audited. It has to be audited. It has to be approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria before you can lay claims at this account. So it's not that they never had things they wrote down at that time that this, were accounts. So there were those backgrounds that we had to inherit from, and it marked those years. Now, as to why they came about, that's a different story, because what we've done in this dispensation is to compartmentalize every aspect of the bank's operations and ensure that the past does not disturb the present and the future. So we create bouquets and put the past. Make sure it is actively managed. We manage the present and we create the future that we want to live in as a bank. I think part of what happened then was there was a lot of trying to solve the problems of the past, trying to exist today, that there was a little loss of focus on creating the tomorrow you want to live in. So the tomorrow happened to the bank, and tomorrow always has its own story if you don't create yours. So really what we've done this time has been to be very, very strategic in the recovery part, and we have walked, we call it the J curve. We have bottomed out and certainly going up now. There's only one way we can go now as a bank, and that's upward. So, but I appreciate the question about the past years. It wasn't the best, of what it could be. But I might also say that it was bad, but maybe industrially, bad wasn't a very unusual thing to hear. So perhaps there were worse cases.
Absolutely.
So that's why
commercial banking,
or amongst a nation of other state-owned mortgage banks and so on.
Yes. So Chairman, I'm happy the anchor of the program asked that particular question, because it also gave you ample opportunity to say what you've said. Because I kept wondering, and many times that I've had the honor of playing host to the MD, CEO of the bank, Pastor Dr. Umo Eno, on whether radio or television, I always would ask him that. But you saying this today just gives me the idea. As a layman, I'm not a banker, but I now understand why the past never troubled the present of the bank. Because if he came in and was doing so well, and looking at the future, if the past, as you said, was not well managed, the past will come, people would come, there will be noises, there will be bad media backlash and all of that. So it's just beautiful that question was asked. You want to take on Pastor?
Yes, Pastor Imobasi Jacob, you are recalling decimal, and it's good you even reminded us that this is your second time on the board, and there is no other person, maybe, you are as good as others to tell the story of the achievements of this bank in 29 years. For instance, when we drive through Akaitiam, you have a signature there, so we would like to talk about that. So I'm glad that as the chairman rightly said, you created a bouquet and put the past, and that's where it belongs now. So we won't bother to talk about how much of those of those dates had become bad, but let's look at the positives. Talk to us about the achievements of this bank in 29 years that you can thump your chest and be very proud of.
Thank you very much. For me, I will say it this way: the greatest achievement is that we are alive. Because the past was really bad. It's very difficult to restructure a company and to start a new one, because you have to deal with legacy issues. The MD would speak to this point. how do you manage legacy customers? People who lost their money. People who deposited money in the bank and there's nothing to pay them back. That we are alive and have a hope for tomorrow, for me, is the biggest achievement. I've been involved in corporate restructuring. Many times you don't get it right without cleaning the slate. But we've been able to manage a bit of the past and the present leading to the future. That's for me the biggest. The second thing that we've done, which eyes may not see, ears may not have heard of, is to establish governance. What kills company is the lack of governance, corporate governance. Things are done not in compliance with due process or best practices. I can tell you a story. The first time I joined the board, there was a fight.
What kind of fight?
Yes, there was a
physical fight.
Physical fight. Total anarchy. Why? They were grumbling about pecs, things they want to do on the hand to deal with the issue of stomach infrastructure, and it led to a fight. And what I did then was to do a memo to the council that I represented, AKBC at that time, that this is not good enough for a financial institution. It's not good enough for any institution. So if you have a crop of directors who would rather fight than strategize for the future, nothing good can come out of it. Greatest achievement, this current board is steep in corporate governance. We're running the bank in compliance with CBN's Code of Corporate Governance, the National Code of Corporate Governance. The arteries of the bank, like any other institution that is well run, rest on committees of the board that look at different aspects of the bank, deal with management, scrutinize management. MD will tell you that whenever he comes to the board to make a presentation, you can only tell when you start how you feel, but when you finish, it might be because the board has a duty, a statutory rule cut for it, that certain things must be in place. And then you drop the ball. No, governance is crucial. And then thirdly, we've been able to reposition the bank for greater growth. Today, if you hear about Aqua Saving, there are people who still think it was something that happened in the past. But when you come in contact with us, you find a new spirit. The spirit of the enterprise is different. New crop of people, good enough. Kudos to them. The same group of staff that never heard of targets. This was a department of any ministry, or it was like any ministry, where your salary is guaranteed. You have nothing to have a burden of responsibility over, but the same people are scooping the marketplace, competing with matured banks for targets and meeting targets. So that transitioning in managing our human capital, for me, is the best game in town. And then next, sir, we have made profit since we came on board. Every year we make profit. What could be better than that? When years gone by, we will not even talk about profit. We're talking about non-existent books. Chairman is a little bit diplomatic. When I mean no books of account, because if books don't balance, what is there for the auditor to audit? I mean, there was no book of account, no account. And not to talk about account that you can reconcile. I think till date, in the past, looking at the past, we still have certain intercompany accounts that you cannot reconcile. And that, for me, I'm an auditor in another part of my life. So I would say it's a great sickness when you see companies go that route. Only God can help them come and turn around. So the profit indices, for me, points to the future. And good enough, as I kick up, every company in Akwa Ibom must make money, including
AKBC.
I'm sitting here. But when I mean every company, every company. Yeah. We're beginning a process this whole month. We're doing strategy for all companies.
Sure.
To dimension those strategies that will result in profit, because we're going to come knocking, asking for dividend. You can't sit on the board and not be responsible for anything. The reason you sit on the board is because you perform. To continue to sit on the board, you have to perform. But do we blame people? No. They've not gone this way before. We're creating corporate Akwa Ibom where you would leave something in the hands of Akwa Ibom person and it works. And it will work for all of us.
Absolutely.
Even for those running, they will be better at it. So our laurels are there, but these experts will tell you more. But for me, I'm for profit and dividend.
Okay. You're just joining us. It's a special program on TV, on radio, and also online, and as a matter of fact, on the web. It's all around the world. We're even on all government's platforms, all of the governors' platforms. We're on TV, as I said, on radio. And this is just with a view to creating the necessary momentum for the second anniversary of Governor Umo Eno, PhD, on the 29th of May, when he himself appears on the program. Today, as the anchor of the program, Itoro Kolumba has told you time and time again, is we're focusing on Akwa Savings and Loans Limited, and we're asking the impact that the 2 years of this governor has had on this bank. We have a threesome. We have Mr. Peter Iudo, is the chairman of the board of the bank. We have Pastor Umo Jacob, who is the director on the board of the bank, as well as MD, CEO of AKBC, and then of course our own, the MD and CEO of Akwa Savings and Loans Limited, Pastor Dr. Umo Eno. The producer says we have to go on a break. I'm just going to need 5 minutes, producer, to do that, because I must take him in this slide. And yes, the MD, CEO. I'm interested. Can I take that question? Can I take it first? Okay. Take a short break. We're back in no time. Please stay tuned.
This is an information. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Umo Air, advancement of work on even 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service.
Okay, so you welcome back. It's still the special TV, radio, online series. It all started last week. Today is the 8th edition, and we're into our second week. It's going to be running for 29 days. It's Governor Umo Eno at 29 guests, 29 days. And we have today on the program the threesome from the Akwa Savings and Loans Limited, the chairman of the board, the managing director, and of course the MD of AKBC, who doubles as a member of the board of directors.
I can see all three of them right there.
Yes. Okay.
Before the break,
question, yes, for your fellow runman.
Absolutely.
I don't know why you keep being the one asking him questions. The whole idea is to ask him very soft questions.
No, I don't want an economan to come and mess us up. Yeah. So, by the way, we have a few of our people online. Karin and Willie has been on this program before.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember.
Where's from South Africa? South Africa.
South Africa?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
South Africa.
Karin and Willie is there.
Africa,
there is Kingsley Boy who just joining us. Nelson Boso is in London. We'll come to you in a moment, even with the live studio panel. We take that. But MD, CEO of Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, Pastor Dr. Umo Eno, please give us an idea, just a little, perhaps 10 seconds of what you met and how you were able to turn it around, and the situation where you are now, what you have done for Akwa Ibom people in the last 4 years.
Bush, once again, thank you very much, and I must be very precise. I think he has said a lot, Pastor. Remember, just said a lot, but I think who sit on it feels it the most.
Absolutely.
In 2021, Aqua Saving was in a very deep, intensive care. I would have used the word dead, but I don't want to. The entirety of all the branches were shut down when I came. Grasses were growing in all the branches. NDIC have shut down. Federal Board of Inland Revenue, Internal Revenue have shut down. Other regulators, Federal Mortgage Bank has shut down because we couldn't pay what we ought to have. We came in and made that situation as bad as it was. 18 months salary of staff were outstanding. None of the staff were paid for 18 months. 18? Their account were credited, but you cannot withdraw access because there was nothing to access. We came in, we were initially discouraged, but because of the reason I gave ab initio, I was like, something could be done. And we decided to apply the experience God has given to us and invite God in. Because I strongly believe that whatever you are, whatever you do, without God you can do nothing. So we call God to come in and help us to navigate the bank and take it to where we want it to be. The first thing we did was to come up with a strategy, a 5-point agenda on how to resolve those issues. The first one was to make sure that the bank is rescued. Because as at that time, Central Bank have already given a deadline to withdraw the license. And we had like 3 months for that deadline to materialize. So we said, okay, the first thing to do is to rescue the bank. So we start the rescue process. We engage Central Bank. We engage the shareholder. And in 6 months, because the letter we wrote to Central Bank was to give us additional 3 months. In 6 months, we were able to rescue it. So after rescuing the bank, what next? We have to build it. So we start the building process. Structures were dead. There was no structure. In fact, he made a statement, some of the things that we're doing in that place, if you are experiencing banking, department of maybe Ministry of Finance or whatever, staff come to work as they like, go back as they like. Some staff don't know how to put finger on the laptop. And you can't blame them because
there was no motivation.
Nothing. 18 months salary, no training. You come to all the years. Someone spent 20 years before I came. And they still remained with them. But something came to my mind. These guys are quite Bomites. Some people call me MD, sack all of them, they are not worth. Just sack them. Bring people from Lagos. That would be the right thing to do. And for me, it was a lazy man approach. What if I train them? What if I bring people, put them in classroom and train them? Maybe give them 6 months. If there is improvement, we run. If there's no improvement, we start doing the saving one after the other. Bush, I must tell you, people are blessed.
Amen.
People are blessed.
Amen.
You see, all our people need is the necessary exposure. So we bring in people. We started training. This thing I'm talking about, the bank doors were closed. We were walking from a closed door. We did not open to any customer.
For how long?
It took about 7 months.
Whoa.
Yes. Bush, you might be surprised that we were paying stuff from our personal pocket while waiting for the show. We were buying diesel from our personal pockets because we determined to ensure that that bank came up again. So we start setting up the structures. We come up with policies. We strengthen things. We do training on staff. Human resources become a key issue for me because I know if I get that raw material right, everything will run. And we started that engagement. We now move from that level to what I call nurturing. So we begin to nurture the system. We nurture the staff. We nurture everything by putting grease. So the thing started moving. In 1 year, we were able to pay all the arrears of 18 months salary.
1 year.
1 year, we were able to clear all. How do we clear it? Go and bring money, go and work. Bank is one of the most lucrative business if you understand how to do it. So we go out, engage the customers. Imagine you going to a customer whose phone were trapped in your bank. Like that same customer.
So still come and bank with you.
Do business with you. Something must
be wrong somewhere.
So I said, okay, let me cut up the first 50 names. Those top 50 names. So I took the top 50 names. I went there by myself. I visit all of them. What did I go there to do? Negotiate instrumental payment of those legacy funds. Some 200 million, some 180 million, some 300. So I sit down with you, we discuss. The bank has come to stay. It will not be business as usual. I'm going to structure your payments. Come back and do business with me. Of course, I know they won't come. But even me, I will not go. But I use that to be able to get a spread in order to pay them over. The reception was too much. You mean the bank is alive? I said, yes. You can pay me in 6 months. I said, one is this. Even if it's 2 years, just give me a document. That's how I was able to spread the payments and then do later to all of them. That for me, I brought stability. That pressure of run on the bank has been settled. Nobody came in there to make noise because we have settled. So whatever money we're able to make, I say people from 1 naira to 10 million will be attended at every point. Because those are the people that will give you headache.
Yeah.
So we started paying them. So when people trade their checks, 2 million paid, it's true. So we keep on doing that. Immediately we clock 3 years. We say, okay, we need to grow the bank. Which might surprise you that 2021, the bank made the first ever sustainable profit. That's never happened.
The same year you took over?
The same year, yes. We made the first profit.
Okay. Do you remember the figure?
Not in the public sector.
Oh, please,
Is that a public limited liability
very
company?
reasonable profit. Considering where we came from. Very, very reasonable. The second year, we recorded again. The third year, we recorded again. It has been sustaining. Last year, we did it again. For me, I see the hand of God. For me, I see that same people that were rejected becoming my raw material. If you bring up our saving staff now, compete.
You can see some of them.
Can compete with anybody.
And they're always happy. You can see some of them on the screen.
Why are they doing that? Because we see potential and we harness those potentials. And that's what we have. So we started growing the bank.
Yes.
As I speak, a core banking application has been put in place. Akwa Savings have never known of internet banking, apps, and all POS and all that. We got all of that and connect.
Now,
it has been like that for the past 3 years.
In terms of loans and mortgage, what have you done in the past 3-4 years?
I don't want to give you figure,
yes,
but I want to tell you that we've done billions in terms of loans.
Whoa.
To activate the small and medium industries in Akwa Ibom states. We have done billions.
Okay. MD, I think this is a fine place to take this discussion somewhere else so that our people on the line can join us, even our panelists. They will all have their questions. If the anchor decides, also we'll take phone calls. Any finger of the governor on your achievements, has Governor Umo Eno brought or added any value, any impact to Akwa Savings and Loans Limited? MD, I'll start that question with you directly.
Thank you very much. But let me tell you something. The governor owns everything in Akwa Ibom State. If the governor said this bank will not operate the next month,
that's the end.
Cannot operate.
Yes.
So for me, the governor is like the beginning and the end after God. He has given us enabling environment. You see, you go to some states, banks are being attacked every day. Here we sleep with our 2 eyes closed. Security is there. Even the capital we used to do business, if the governor said we'll take the capital from you,
back,
it will take. So I must praise Umo Eno. He has done exceptionally well. He has done well. He's the one that kept me on the job. If he came in and said, I don't like the face of this man, go. German, go. All of us would have gone now. So I tell people, I say, look, leadership is all about leaders. So if leadership structure is not favoring the leaders,
absolutely,
the system will collapse. So Umo Eno is a leader. I'm not saying this to impress anybody.
Absolutely.
I took time to follow what he's doing. His principles are people-centric, he's God-centric, and I tell you at the end, he dovetail to what we are saying.
Absolutely. Let me allow the director on the board of Akwa Savings to also field that question, and then of course the chairman, then the anchor will take it from there.
Very directly, Governor Umo Eno sits in a class of his own. The last 2-3 dispensations, we at AKICOP never enjoyed the autonomy that we're having, and that affects this bank. There's an ESCO decision that all investment of government will return to AKICOP.
Yes.
And so that gives AKICOP the superintendency to over its investment, particularly the bank for which I am on the board. So we have the backing of the state that AKICOP cannot be restrained from doing its normal work of oversight and accountability over its investment. That's why we can say to Akwa Ibom people that this investment is good, it's rewarding, we've taken it, we've rescued it, it's now in the right trajectory. Very soon they will pay a dividend and all that. So it came from the governor's perspective. And then secondly, sir, the governor has also directed that all our banks in the state must be patronized by state entities to drive business and to manage it as a commonwealth. We do business among ourselves. So sitting at AKICOP, we've been able to drive the traffic of transactions from people who are doing business in our state. We have an unwritten policy that if you come signing an agreement with us, your bank is Akwa Saving or Ibom Fadama. Your insurance is Anchor Insurance.
Yes.
So courtesy Umo Eno and his policy, he has understood how to build the ecosystem that would nurture our investment, allow them to do businesses together, and allow the oversight function of AKICOP to be put in place. These are very major milestones, and for me, you can't ask for more. You can't ask for more. And then, of course, like the MD says, he has not interfered in the way the bank is run. He has allowed us space to operate, and he is our shareholder in chief. A bank is regulated. We have need for capitalization from time to time, and I would like to say this: the state is ready for any time that the capitalization trend moves out of central bank to financial institutions, particularly in this sector. So he is a business person and has allowed that background of his to affect our institutions for good.
Chairman.
Thank you. So much I could say about His Excellency Governor Umo Eno. Honestly, running an institution like this, like Pastor Imobasi said earlier, has a lot to do with governance. At the board, where we belong, job majorly has to do with policy setting, has to do with oversight of what management is doing, and there are very few things that could disable us as that of the person we report to being a frustrating. As the chairman of the board of directors, seen anybody make an approach to the bank, whether as a counterparty or a vendor or an interested staff or anything, because that's how it begins. And governance is disrupted, and a culture where you can't control, like the MD said, the people begins to set in. You can't control processes sets in. So the governor gives us leadership, even from the distance where he is, a kind of leadership that enables us to exact the best practice in corporate governance. And that is what I'm privileged to do as the chairman of the board of directors. So he has been very, very excellent in giving that guide. And beyond that too is the fact that, a typical example, the burning thing on our stove right now is we are about to rebrand.
Absolutely.
We're changing names.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. So
now I'll tell you, if the governor does not give a yes,
it won't happen.
It won't happen. And these things are in regulated environments and could bring sanctions and could bring all sorts of difficulties for the board and manager. So we have a highly responsive governor. If we tell you the speed of time between when we requested for this change of name and when he endorsed, you won't believe he's a governor. You think maybe he sleeps in Aqua Service.
Absolutely.
He has been excellent in enabling us to do the business with.
Okay. Incidentally, when we're going to play host to the governor on the 29th, I'll ask him if he has an Aqua Savings and Loans Limited account. I'm going to ask him.
As a person.
I'm going to ask him.
Okay, so just before we go join some of our followers who are joining us from different parts of the world, let me ask the managing director a question. So because these Oran people, let it not look as though it's absolutely an Oran man thing. There's a question he asked. There's a question he asked about your achievements in the core mortgage sector.
Yes.
I doubt if you addressed that. And I also understand that tomorrow something big is happening. You're going to be rebranding. You are metamorphosing after 30 years into a new brand. Maybe you also take us into that before we get talking with some of those who are joining us from outside.
Thank you very much. When people are talking of mortgage, a typical non-mortgage banker said, which estate have they built? Because what they want is estate.
So
if you don't build estate, you are not doing mortgage. But I want to tell you that more to mortgage than just building estates.
Okay. But we have some estates, by the way.
We do. I just want to tell you that as we speak, we have 4 estates standing in the states. 4. 3 are fully developed.
Yes.
Talking about Akaitiam, Efiaraford, and Rafia City in Corridor. Fully developed.
Which one is Efiaraford?
Efiaraford is the one
ABA Heaven
road. No. ABA Heaven will only come in partnership, but not the originator.
Okay.
Yes. Currently we have one in opposite teaching hospital.
We're building.
That one we are about to develop. We have already done parcellation. The estate is ready to.
What is parcellation again?
Parcellation is, I give you a forest. And you say, this is my forest.
Okay.
This is my land. You need to divide them into plots.
Okay.
That process of dividing them
is a parcellation.
So that if we pick bush, we show you this your own.
Your own parcel of land.
This your own, you know your own. So that's what we've done. And for me,
this will run people. He didn't say if you pick it has to be bush.
Yeah, because
So that's what we've done, and it's a continuous process. We've engaged some developers. We are not allowed to build directly by law. We engage developers. We've just signed MOU with a Chinese company that coming with a ready-made buildings to put there. We are trying to cut the T and dot the I's. Immediately we finish that. For me, it's not how soon, but how well you do it. If I bring a 200 units and complete it in 6 months, everybody in Akwa Ibom clap that we've done a good job. This is the structure that will be assembled and brought away from China just to put, and we get at least 200 units for our civil servants. We equally want to set up a standard duplexes for businessmen, people who want to invest in Akwa Ibom and all that. That is sort of been divided into 3 units. The back end will be those structures that are coming from China. The middle will be the one we are going to build ourselves. We sell land, you come and buy and build. We give you the spec to build. Then the frontage will be the one we are partnering with some investors to build. And we believe that immediately we cut the T and dot the I's, in 1 year we start seeing
the results.
What's happening tomorrow?
Oh, thank you very much. Tomorrow is a day for us. We want to wear a new name. We want to come up with a new shirt, a new cap, and show the world that, look, we are good. For 30 years now, approximately 30 years, came up in 1993 as Aqua Mortgage Finance Limited. In 1995, the name was changed to Aqua Savings. That's exactly when the operation started, in 1995. So 1995 till now is 30 years. And regulatorily, it is important that the savings and loan
limited
is taken off. We want to come up with a name that will show exactly what we are doing, what our license really reflects. So by tomorrow, by God's special grace, all Akwa Ibomites, all Nigerians, they will hear.
Who will be unveiling that new name?
Yes. Okay, you don't want to unveil it?
No. Who will be unveiling? Who?
No other person that the shareholder in chief.
Yes. Chairman, let's not worry ourselves. There are only questions you can ask and think that you have answers. These 3 people, no matter what we ask them, no matter what we do, they will not tell us the new name of the bank. So we'll wait.
All right, so in case you've just joined us, tomorrow. It's 7 minutes past the hour 5, and this is a continuation of the series we started last Monday. It's Governor Umo Eno at 29 guests, 29 days. Today on the program, we're playing host to the chairman of the board of directors of Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, a member of the board of directors, and managing director of the Aki Corp, and also the managing director of the bank himself. The 3 of them have been fielding questions on Aqua Savings and Loans related matters, and it's now time for us to engage gear and get talking with some of those who have joined us from outside of Uyo. Akani Willie joins us from South Africa, and then Kingsley Boete. This is the first time Kingsley is joining us, so we allow him speak first. Kingsley, where's Kingsley joining us from? Hello, Kingsley, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you very much.
Okay, so where are you joining us from?
I'm in South Africa.
Sema Sakani Yene Willie. Okay, so which part of South Africa are you?
Well, I'm in Johannesburg. I was past Akwa Ibom State President in South Africa.
Okay.
Great. Okay. He succeeded you. Willie succeeded you. Fantastic.
So that's why both of you have come on the program.
Yes.
Okay. So where
Thank you very much.
I don't know when you left Nigeria. I don't know how much you know about Aqua Savings and Loans. We have those who are shaking and moving that financial institution in Akwa Ibom, and I don't know. I'm sure you've listened to them with rapt attention ever since the program started. Do you have any question? Do you have any observation? Any comment about Aqua Savings that you want to drop?
You know what? I want to first thank the governor for giving them the enablement to run the affairs. It's really out of bureaucracy. what I've heard really, and it gladdens my mind because that is what I see here in Africa. Once a government parastatal is given to, it's been run basically as a national institution. So for me, I would rather wait for them to unveil the new structure that they're coming up with, names and so, then I think I'll have more questions for the board and the management.
Okay, so this program is about Governor Umo Eno. We are two. You know, yeah. we are taking stock and also signposting when he becomes 2 years in office. So, what do you make of his style of leadership? What has he done that you've been monitoring all the way from South Africa that you feel you want to celebrate, or are there things he hasn't done well you want to criticize him on? Take the center stage now.
I give him, I would say, pass mark in terms of grassroots development. He's impacted a lot. But from here, we do follow up with what's happening in back home, the healthcare improvements, and the security is one of the main things I should commend him on, because that gives us, especially when we're outside the country, the first thing that comes to mind if we want to go back home is security. Pastor Umo Eno has put Akwa Ibom in a position where the state is well known. Every time Super Eagles wants to play a match, I'm very proud to tell South Africans that are close to me that this is my hometown, and I hope that will continue into the future. But the agricultural program on how he's impacted the youth, it's one thing I must commend him again on. So the housing project as well. So with the Akwa Ibom savings and loans, I think it will be it's a good thing. I hope they would allow people like us in diaspora to come back and invest, seek funding from them as well. The
way the bank is going, the bank is headed by a man who, while working with some commercial banks, did most of his posting outside the shores of this country, worked in about 3 different African countries. So you never can tell. Maybe sometime in future we have a branch of Aqua Savings in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Is that a dream that's possible,
yes,
MD?
Very possible.
Fantastic. Okay, so all right, so Umo Eno, we'll come back to you. Let's also be fair enough to your successor in office. Let's go talking with Mr. Willie. So when next are you visiting home? Are you going to be part of the anniversary in September? Are you coming home soon? Or you are joining the governor to celebrate his 2nd anniversary?
I can't promise on that, but I know in December I'll be back home.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you in December when you come home. Akani and Willie, thank you for joining us. Kingsley Umo Eno. Yes. Kingsley Umo Eno. We look forward to seeing you in December. Akani and Willie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, moderator. You did so well for bringing us back on this platform.
Okay, so how is South Africa today? Your own parts of South Africa, how is it today?
South Africa is on its track to the top of the world.
Yes. Is that where Nigeria?
What about Akwa Ibom?
Nigeria and Akwa Ibom?
Akwa Ibom is also on track to meet up with the standard of South Africa.
But will you say the same thing of Nigeria?
Nigeria is the giant of Africa, but we also believe that under the administration of the president, there is hope. See a lot of hope of great transformation. That we will also join that class of the level of development in the world.
Okay, so do you have any Aqua savings and loans related question to ask our guests? You've listened to us, you've watched the proceedings on this program since we started. Do you have any question for the 3 of them?
Yes, I just wanted to ask the chairman. I love what he's doing, and I love this particular initiative to help the citizen of Akwa Ibom State to be able to access funds and loans. The area I wanted to ask this question is the area of home loans. Is there any channel by which individual can get a home loan, and what are the strategies? What are the
requirements,
the policies behind it? Thank you.
All right. Okay, so Chairman. Okay, that question is directed at you.
Yeah, he directed at me. Thank you very much. That's Akani Eno.
Yes, Akani Eno.
Thank you, Akani Eno. Yes. Like the MD had mentioned, that a lot of people, when they hear mortgage banking, their minds are going to the establishment of estates. Whereas the truth is that at Akwa Savings and Loans, as we speak right now, we have quite a significant portfolio. Maybe the MD can give the exact percentage of total portfolio that is huge. It's quite huge on personal development of homes, on development of properties, and things to do with, I've forgotten those exact words you use, but the bank is, yes, very, very deep into the financing of home ownership as we speak. We have a portfolio that's very active and it's ongoing. And how can you take advantage of this? Very simple. Be an account holder in Akwa Savings and Loans, run it for just about 6 months, and you would have proven a few questions will be asked, and of course, since it's land related, it will be tied to if it is a land you want to build on, or a property you want to remodel, or there's so many things, you know, that this particular aspect of housing funding, you know, does. So it depends on where, you know, you're coming from. Once you meet the criteria, boom, you're good. And there are quite a huge number of people already existing as beneficiaries, and a whole lot more. In fact, by the next board meeting, I'm sure the MD will be coming with quite a long list of those that are qualified for us to, if they were very small, us to ratify, or if they're big, the board will look at them and see if they're suitably qualified. Because we're very mindful of one thing. One of the legacies we'll leave behind at the end will be never to leave behind what we inherited. So we are very particular about quality of risk we are taking to create wealth in Akwa Savings. So once you fit into, you know, that structure of requirement for home ownership financing, certainly you're in right now as we speak.
Okay, so MD, before we go to our
Akani Willie, thank you.
Akani Willie, thank you very much. We'll still come back to you if we have a full time
allows.
Yes. Okay. So MD,
there's breaking news that I must give you.
Okay.
Nigeria, and I hope you forgive me if you don't like it, but Nigeria are under 20 football team, the Flying Eagles. After many years, I think this has been going on for many years, finally qualified for the World Cup. So it's very nice. So
congratulations, congratulations to our national team.
Yes, we just beat Senegal, I think, on penalty in Egypt, and that just happened just a few minutes ago.
Fantastic. Okay, so MD, I don't know if it's within the realm of that which the public should hear. Your interest rates, you know, because I like to leverage the question he asked. When he asked what the requirements are, we've not talked about that. Or is it like your profit that should not be brought to the public? To the public domain? What's your rates like? What are your rates like?
Yeah, once again, thank you. You know, interest rate is a function of timing.
Okay.
When do you come to us, and what are you asking
for?
And what is the tenor? So the bank look at the risk appetite and look at every indices. It will be difficult for me to tell you my interest rate is X, Y, A. But if I know what you want, and we engage ourselves, we'll be able to do.
Why is Pastor Imobasi Jacob reacting with that kind of stuff on his face when you acting like that? Because there might be something he knows that we...
No, it's his department.
I heard profit. Yeah. And I know that interest rate leads to profit. You know, but really and truly, The interest rate regime reflects what the central bank's monetary policy is. Every now and then the monetary policy committee will meet and set the baseline. We all derive our own rate from that, but it's customer friendly.
Absolutely.
It's a priced rate that reflect the deposit, the interest we're paying on deposit, and then you put a spread on it so that we can make profit. It was a profit that
absolutely
that ignited your idea.
So we have 30 minutes to the end of this edition of the program. Remember, this program continues tomorrow, and I think before we end, we'll be able to tell you who and who are coming on the program tomorrow. But right now, the anchor says that the telephone number should be on the screen. Once we see it on the screen, we'll be able to read it for our radio audience. But let's start the tour.
Absolutely.
The
so,
panelists.
Raphael, you
Henry,
take the first shot.
Ukanafun-Orok. Any questions for Aqua Savings and Loans? Anything you want to say about the governor?
Of course. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone for making this possible, especially the governor, His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, PhD. Everyone around the world is watching, hearing this program, and I want to ask a question that they can learn from. What are some strategies that you were able to inculcate in building Aqua Savings and Loans from where it was? Because when we have the opportunity, the youth, to do that when we are called, we want to learn and stand on the shoulders of the giants like that.
Okay, fantastic. MD, that's to you.
Thank you. What's the name again?
Raphael.
The father is the Honorable Commissioner for Housing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pleasure, the former
former
House of Representatives
member.
Okay.
Yes, Right Honorable Dr. Henry Ukanafun-Orok.
I like people that are interested in strategy.
Absolutely.
That is what will deliver at the end of the day. So you are welcome. We are asking what strategy do we put in place since we came to be able to move to the level we are today. I would say everything. From human resources, I mentioned that we train. I mentioned that we devise and restructure our policies. I mentioned that a bank cannot run without policy. And again, bank generally is being controlled by Central Bank of Nigeria. So if you play it according to the rule of the game, your strategy must align with what Central Bank wants you to do. So what we are doing in Aqua Savings is to set our strategies, the department, the units, the transaction, to align with what Central Bank wants us to do. And that is what dovetails to the success story you are hearing today. If you need a more detail of our strategy, take my number.
Absolutely.
After the program.
Yes. Let's come to Idong Sedna, the registrar of the 20 Questions Academy.
Okay.
You have a question?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's hiding behind me, right? I'm wondering how they will catch it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes, Joe, we can see him like that. Yeah.
Of course, our guest. Thank you, Bush House, for putting this up. Let me use this opportunity also to thank His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno. Of course, to congratulate him on his second year anniversary. MD, I like to congratulate you. You said you came to meet a very difficult back 2021. But today you've turned around the whole system.
God.
And it's running very smoothly now. But you have failed to, or perhaps you don't want to tell us what the name will look like tomorrow. I will watch and we'll see. But my question is, Aqua Savings and Loans Limited. You said we take away the loans from the previous name and the savings. Is it that we don't want to do loans again? Yes, but we also mentioned here that we are going to do it. Now, the big question is, who and who are supposed to access this loan? Is it for, because somebody told me, I've not worked with Aqua Savings before. Somebody told me it's mainly for civil servants. I don't know. Is it for civil servants or is it anybody in Akwa Ibom? My grandma can access it. My grandpa can access it.
You yourself can?
Myself. Can I access the loan?
Okay.
I will market you tomorrow. You know, for me, it's just where we are coming from. it is our bank, and it's for everybody. I mean, as in everybody. If you see me on the field marketing, it's for everybody. You are entitled to a house over your head, and we make housing very simple in Akwa Ibom. What we do is come with where you are. We look at the repayment plan over the years, and we buy a house for you. Keep the document of the house. When you finish paying, we give it to you. Do you understand? If you fail paying, we call you for a discussion. That's how it is. So everybody is qualified. In terms of what next did you ask? You talk about removing the name of loan and savings.
Yes.
Whatever we are going to replace, stand for loan and savings.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Etine Karika?
Yes. Grateful for this opportunity, but I think I have 3 questions.
Can you just raise your voice a little?
I think I have 3 questions to be directed to you and then Pastor Umo Jacobs. You talked about coming in from Sierra Leone and Uganda to meet this micro bank. I want to ask, do you have any regrets so far? Number 1. And then number 2 also, I want to ask...
Etine, not Ekemini. Why do you rename her? They've just written your name Ekemini. It's Etine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Secondly, I want to ask, where do you see this bank in the next 10 years? And then to you, Pastor Umo Jacobs, since you are profit inclined,
profit inclined.
I don't know if I'm right to do this, but could you please compare and contrast the administration of Umo Eno, of this present administration, to the other ones, since you are almost 30 years of age? Yes, thank you.
You think the bank is almost 30 years of age?
Okay.
Yeah.
I accept 30 years.
You look it. You look it. I mean, you look it.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
Etini, do I have any regrets? Absolutely no. No. It is a decision I made, and I must tell you the truth. What will make people regret their actions is what actually pushed them to that action. So if I was pushed in for something else, maybe I would have. But what pushed me has leveled me up. We are talking success today, and that was my aim, and that is still applying now. You are asking me, where do I see Akwa savings in the next 10 years? I see a very robust bank. I see a bank that every Akwa Ibom, I forgot to even mention, we've recruited over 100 of Akwa Ibom
since you came on board.
Yes, over 100. We are 211 staff as we speak. 211. And 100 is fresh. In 4 years, you can imagine where this bank become national, where it become international, where we will be.
I was just going to ask you, what's going to happen? Sorry, I know that the director, the member of the bank, but so that we don't miss it. What will happen after the unveiling of the new name tomorrow?
We have some lined up programs.
Okay.
After immediately we finish the unveiling, we start the rebranding process, and that would dovetail into the actual celebration of 30th year. So it's going to be a robust period.
Pastor Jacob.
Yes.
Okay.
Pastor Jacob.
Yeah, Pastor Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There's a question by 18.
Okay. You wanted me to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
I remember the old quote that said the world is a stage. Every man and actor, every season is a scene. All the governors, past, present, have their contributions stack up and can be remembered. The bank was merely how many years old before the return to democratic dispensation in 1999? The governor at that time took up the challenge to send people to this board. Akipok then was for the first time represented on the board. And then the governor that came after also managed the transition very well and made modest contributions. What we did before I exited the bank also meant the bank to record such feat as one of the estates that was almost lost. We brought it back. And then Governor Emmanuel put this team together.
Yes.
And now we are in the golden era. It can never get any better. So all of them had contribution to make, but I think the golden one is sweet.
Absolutely, because it's the president.
I think compared to gold.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to be friendly enough with those who are listening to us or watching us from within and outside Nigeria. You can avail yourself of this phone number and be a part of this broadcast. If you're calling from outside Nigeria, you bring in the code +234 then 08023547268. If you are calling within Nigeria, it's 08023547268. That's the phone number you can use to call and be a part of this broadcast. All right, so where Chukwago.
Yes, thank you, the boss. Thank you, Uncle. Let me start by saying I'm really enthralled by the quality of men seated before me. Each day I sit here, I see Akwa Ibomites leaders come and they are so deep at what they do. Thank you for the service you render to the states.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for turning things around at Akwa Savings and Loans. I grew up in this town. I remember what the office at Oron Road used to look like. That building was a signpost of something that failed. But now we see what happened at what is standing at the back road. Beautiful. I am really, really happy. When I saw your staff here the other day, they look good. Thank you. I want to say that your story, the story you are telling now, is not really known by the public. You are succeeding, but it's mostly within the walls of your institution that the story is known. The people need to tell the story themselves. Let me tell you something. I am going to mention brand names. I don't know whether that is allowed. Each time you talk to the man, Chief Onyema of APs, he will never stop mentioning a bank, Fidelity Bank. That bank believed in that brand when they were kicking off. The story of that bank is best told by that man. Akwa Savings and Loans should look for those customers whom you have built. Those people you have helped to get homes, you have helped their businesses to rise, you have given loans. Let them tell the story of Akwa Savings and Loans. People will believe them more. So now you are telling it, it's a bank at okay. Let me tell it. At the home I have, I didn't have any money, I took a loan. And now I have a beautiful home. This is the home. Let the people market this brand. Akwa Savings and Loans has come of age. You have done so much like you've told us. After tomorrow, when you change the name, also change the approach.
Fantastic. Okay, so we take this question. I'm sure that's some question that the three of them are going to take to heart. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Your name?
My name is Akpan from Ibesikbo.
Okay, Akpan from Ibesikbo.
Yes, I want to thank the Bush House, Michael Bush, and you, Ituru, and your guest there, and the people of Akwa Savings and Loans. What I want to put a little input is that this infrastructure, since 30 years now, is highly appreciated, because what I'm saying is that will help our Akwa Ibomites to at least have employment there, as the case has already been enlightened. So this is bringing a huge upliftment, provided Akwa Ibom is concerned. So all what they can do, please let them put their hands on them to making sure this comes to limelight. My first son, ID Fashion, is clocking 30 years. This is his month, ID Fashion. So we are celebrating 30 years Akwa Savings. Kudos to you guys.
Okay, do you have an account with Akwa Savings and Loans Limited?
No, not yet.
Even your son, I think you should go there tomorrow.
Yes,
Bush House, Nigeria.
Yes,
Bush House, Nigeria, because we're celebrating the anniversary of the governor, the second anniversary of Governor Umo Eno. I will discuss with the bank, and we'll give your son and you 100,000 naira gift to be able to open 2 bank accounts tomorrow. Just go to the bank tomorrow, see the MD. We're going to give the MD 100,000 naira. You can open 2 bank accounts. Your son and you, because your son is celebrating his 30th anniversary.
Okay, sir, can I call out my number?
No.
Just go to the bank. Go to the bank.
Tomorrow.
Go to the bank and look for the
Ask
MD.
to meet the MD. Ask to see the MD.
Let me call my name. Let me call my full name.
Your name is Akpan. That's what he told us. You now want to call your full name because money is involved.
Patience Sunday Akpan.
Patience Sunday Akpan.
Yes, from Ibesikos.
Okay. It's important because another person could land there with the sun.
Okay, so all right. So tomorrow, go to our back road, the corporate headquarters of Aqua Savings and Loans Limited, and ask to see the managing director.
If the MD is not is not in the office, look for Mr. Akweresien.
I have the number of the pastor in there. My name. I have his number.
Okay, great stuff. He already has the MD's number. He's not like you, doesn't have the MD's number. Okay, let's go to Abuja.
Bye-bye.
You have another caller, but let's go to Abuja where David Raymond Edith joins us. David, how is Abuja today?
Abuja is very well, thank you.
Especially vis-a-vis Governor Umo Eno, PhD at 2.
Well, I think one of the immediate things that get to you that is commitments to that we've seen all the work, not just but across.
David, I don't know what the problem is. David, we can barely hear you. We don't know what the problem. We can see you clearly right here in Uyo. And you in Abuja, I think that yes, your network is giving problems. But come on, go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you, but it cut and joint.
Okay, let me try this again. So I mean, I was saying we've seen all the private investments, not just Aqua Savings and Loan, but run by Akiko.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so David, what do you do? Just take the call. I've placed a call to you. Let's see if that works.
Okay, that's right.
You know, I've called
take the
you.
Call.
Just
they stay on
take the call.
They stay on the
they
screen.
Stay on the screen. So can you hear us? Are you with your phone?
I hear you very well. Can you
Beautiful.
Fantastic. So
Beautiful.
go ahead.
Beautiful.
Go ahead.
So I was saying, it's a beautiful thing to look at, especially those of us from the private sector. Not just what the government is doing in Aqua Savings and Loan, but the entire investments value chain which is run by Akiko. So it's definitely a positive boost. I know the chairman of Aqua Savings and Loan. Like I said, I like to my uncle from a very large family.
Yeah.
And when you look at the trajectory that the company has gone and is even going, especially with what's happening tomorrow. I think anybody who's looking to invest in Akwa Ibom State already gets a positive energy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Is there a prayer you have, David, for Aqua Savings? Is there something you want Aqua Savings to do going forward?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question.
Is there a prayer? Do you have a prayer for Aqua Savings? Is there something you need from them? Is there something they want to do, especially as they turn 30 now?
Well, I would. Yes, my prayer would be to expand aggressively.
You want them to come to Abuja?
If possible. I mean, because there's always room for expansion, especially since you're playing in the finance sector. And the finance sector is, as we know, is one of the sectors that is one of the how do I put it, fast-growing sectors. Yes. Especially when you start looking at fintech and value creation, wealth creation. So there's a lot of room for that aggressive expansion.
Okay.
Since the structure is already, the blueprint is already there.
All right.
So when are you going to Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kanu?
All right. So David, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Should we have time? We'll come back to you before the end of the program.
So when are we going to? Yes, Gemma.
Oh well, we are already on our way to Lagos, Port Harcourt, and well, these things are they are regulated. Yes,
okay,
they are regulated, and they are subject to your capacity, capital-wise, regulated by the central bank. Our desire, if our strategic goal is to go national. Yeah, so we have 3 stages of licenses you can have. You can have a state license, your business is curtailed within the state, or a regional license where we can operate just within South, or a national license. And all of these are tied to what is your qualifying capital base. So, and that is why right now on the front burner of Aqua Savings is the issue of capital boost. So we are already deep into that season. Like when you asked me about His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, we have already gotten such a high level of cooperation and encouragement from His Excellency in that direction of ensuring capital adequacy, whether within or without. So we are very, very tightly working on that line, and the capacity we'll create out of that will determine just how wide in the short run and in the long run, even in the medium
Absolutely.
run. So we're seeing ourselves up there. We don't see even up to 10 years, you ask.
Absolutely.
We should be sub 5 years.
Okay.
We're way beyond the territories we're talking about.
Okay.
As,
so MD at the last count, how many branches do you have within the state? 6 branches.
Are they
all allocated within? Okay. Yeah, because I'm wondering, even before we begin to talk, going to Abuja, going to Lagos, about other local government areas within Akwa Ibom, that you still have a large chunk of people who are unbanked. You know, so is it within your plans?
Yeah, there's a plan. We want to set up cash centers and not branches.
Okay.
In all the local government
areas. Okay. MD, you're not going to be MD, CEO, no matter how much we love you, forever. What plans are there that this bank doesn't go kaput, doesn't go south, doesn't go back to the Old Testament after you've gone?
Thank you, sir. That's why we are working to set up policies. That's why we are working to make sure that we don't just develop people, we develop the system. You know, when a system is well developed, people flow along the system. The only thing I cannot guarantee is the character of the people that will flow. But as of today, the kind of team I have, I can bet that this is the team that can run. But I don't know it's coming tomorrow. That's what I cannot guarantee. But I try my best, the board try their best to ensure that it's a structure.
Is your tenure fixed? You have
we have a fixed tenure, yes.
Okay, so you are still within your first
tenure? Yeah, still within 5
renewable?
Renewable.
Yeah, renewable.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, not the governor, you know, it goes out for.
No, it's first about the board. It's about the board.
Oh, it's about the board.
Yeah.
So your faith primarily lies on the board.
If the boards, yes, of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay, I can see Pastor Imobasi, and so you don't have too much problem.
Okay, so we're winding down. 2 hours, 2 hours almost gone. We have just 17 minutes left of our airtime, and there's something that we do on the program. We still come back to you for closing comments. If we have time, we'll still run abroad, go to South Africa, go to Abuja. But Silvanus, is here. Ete, nzeko mfen abanga kwa savings. Ben woro modo.
Okam ni song idem mfen miru idem obu. Na si da ita. Ni kiri ku fa ko kai ro fu no tiku. Ukara isoi ba ke government nya. Aseni we de musoke ku seni de musoke mfen ro yo seni jaita. Mfen ki bu ya ki ku no me fiong bo wi da. Iti. E ku ni di bu ne tu ku ke. Itu kini tekenan kau bang aku, aku dia mungkin apa bukan ni semua, ya kena mau je, nduyun diding. Aku baru ndu mungkin ada kau for bang, nak gum nasium film, so bum iyo, aku yang muju. Aku yo lah, mungkin deh, so kini so sport, itu, nak kui kau makanan, ceman borom mau semne, dia kan pensel budi, mau apa ni kau kira kau yang muju. Semua pun dia di nanti di tangsi warabu akbak pakanga tu kom nomor nak sosong basu diong fini bukan abu rumah mereka tahu nama wat sosong asar bu apa sema diong gua jiji ini bunjin siapa fong ini mana aku sosong anak aku ini belum nomor jumbo benam aku rumah nomor baik bukan udah ramai ni memang asal orang no fumara aku nak kena diong gua jiji buku pikir dia mungkin dia juga dia kemudian mau dah kau bang kadang bunci guna lagi phone aku video khi càng anh nhảy rồi mà bà xin bia mà phương bữa đi đua cái hoa cái mong đông cái xe về chân cái dây chân quanh nhá qua vừa bà chú phong nhảy ba nó bực gọn như này thì mới phải trang nhặt ít chẳng ai mua cái một con có gì xí cái mình mới dạy imani cái bên đa imanu pha cái vàng ai đi bộ nhằng cái rồi mọi bữa những làm gì bây giờ đang ở đúng bỏ ra cho mọi cái mi tăng còn nhiều những cái đồ những cái bữa phòn ra rồi CD cái này những cái bên cái akabu uji pun như thế anh na asal nak bong apa kedua mak akabu fokus bong seni tu ya aku nang abu ya benin dua season boy aku tu relax aja jadi guru mana ya mak akabu phun no mau guru do akabu gitu kan kita jangan ibu mau mau benin jangan worry ke bang kami ya kuat saving saro ufok tu mun nama kau stay ni ni go aduh ke usen ni go ke jikin ni kan yang apa aduh ke mfanem saya mai dah kira ibu ni tiorisan ke di negara anyon asa atong itu ke jangan mi ke federal government di fang si bang na bi ju ke siang ada dian ke mi ni nda ba di di mo kwai bun sen jangan fe bu ken do yi dong wun fen ke mi si no woro ko mi ke udun mi mo ake ne se fu bu ben bo mu na mi mai tang ibu ku udun mi ta kita ake ne se fu bu nam mau đó còn mẹ bù nhâm isap mẹ bù nhâm tuyển mẹ bù nhâm abu mẹ bù nhâm ibai afre phân bò rồi cụ đưa bằng cái kia này sẽ bù bò em mọi vấn đề thì phải cho cái tăng em bò bù phò ifang cái bù mò cái bằng của nó con nợ bò bù phò bù y cái mình chuyên chỉ nhưng mà bạn bù cái bào phá ra này cái ba mình ô ba cầm bò ba chỉ có giá đúng cái mà là cái dùng còn đi tầm còn bù cái bào phò ra mình bù gì bò cái bù chơi này bị bù phò rồi thì cả tuần nó đi buộc như bạn tiếng bom cũng như các ta chỉ chế cái vừa remove ông kia để maybe walk for gì em chẳng như là cái bữa nay này đi nhiều cái mấy bạn ăn đi mà cái bữa nay này đi để mai đi cái sư phó để vùng chùm sức ở phía đó apa sih cô ya dong cái mà là cái dùng bò phải để xí bị đi bò khi cho cái nhà cái phó ra để phải nó cái này cái chẳng ở đấy mà bây giờ anh chỉ được chịu được akama bang manager bữa nhé vừa sắp có tăng đi cái nhé cái sư傅dia nấu bao cái nó vào phục bên nhung gì đã cầm cái đấy vừa cái xí rồi đưa đến nhà bằng cầm như thì yêu cái năm bao cái sao rồi em mới mi buồn để cái đấy mi không ở bên đi bên cái mi mới đi bên cái bên đi xíu cái sao cái đấy bên đi sương à tôi xí buồn đi ya đó ở bên cái này năng nhé đi đó ở bên đi cái bà sao có ra mà tôi cái này rồi cái mình nói mọi im chạy mai về như đi qua thì cắt này vừa về thì vừa cái xong cái cắt nào cái trong mà cũng nhiều đó cái mọi điều cái đó cái gì mà bún nó chùm mà mình bún nó có cái gì anh ăn thì bằng cả đồ cả cái su cọt cái thằng mình ấy bún như bún nó chùm rồi qua thì bạn có bà sẽ siap iban bún chùm đi mình nhìn apa cái mình đã ra qua kan iki bang mudut ni just det dia cái đó anh uống nó qua về qua mà giải phao qua dia cái có quay bùng bò ra wiki bang mudut qua mai san ni qua statement yêu nó dạng nhon ấy nên mình ấy tăng ai bùng bông cái mình mà giải siêu quay mình cái bang mình bò bang cũng phải nằm mà ấy cứ mình cái mấy cái mình chỉ có phòng phở đông niang có nó cái mình mà cái bên này cái đường cái quay bùng mấy cái này cái qua savings cái mình mà ví dụ cái anh mà có kỹ tiền mình mà bị xì tiền cũng phải phim bom mà pa bao nhiêu quả rồi pa gì chẳng cái mình cái bom million không rồi bắt đầu như nó cái đồng được cái billion cái quay bùng mỗi năm còn nó mỗi năm anh như này mình nuôi ya bà sẽ điong anh nhé cái đó cái bên nam quay cái này mình có điong có mà cái làm phim này cái nào đấy nó bữa đó bài có mà cái làm nguyên trình mà cái đi giang anh như vậy nó sao bữa đó tụi tụm mình bài ra ăn tụi vậy cả vậy ba cái gì cũng không biết cái rồi cái mọi mai ibu nó cái mì mai đó có cái bông dia ya ba cái rồi yêu ibu cái dạng ngon bỏ cái cái đi buồn những do cái nó không có những cái đồ chơi đấy nhưng mình đi ba đang đi ba vậy cái bông vậy cái này cái chú nó mà con cái bù song ba cú yêu bù song lúc trước nó ba sinh nhón cái gì vậy cái gì đi tập đấy
anh phải suy này
mình suy nhón cú fro cái ở Nam Mỹ cho kỳ năm mi cái mbu ba tăng thì bang anh rồi phơi đi quên bom bang ấy sau cả pastor moi nó kem pon chỉ có iki ba ít sẽ bị cái iki ba iki ba mấy cái tôi xin đi về đi can ya bỏ million naira kì million naira ke go garin de mo no we mai sen no de ki jot ye joro e bai kan ni fu bi ai ba ki dia ke fen tuen ma nyang ni na na bi ai fu bi ma i yo million ke pa wu ayo i ba anyong ma kana wen no fon e ya no 1000 naira ki ji ke ki ne yo wi ta ari bo 1000 naira ki na oh ba ang bo me ya je mo win tin ba we ki ko kang yen se na ari ba wo ji li good ya so kon de ku kan bo ke so i ba fa fa mu se nem du ke ke mo yo se ne e mo so ke
so abogum se ta age bo ba ke ukoro na ma wo ke ne
ta wo ro wu tang ukoro ma na ma bi tang dai de pon ukoro na
wo wu tang me bo dai ko ukoro bo ka
okay, quick announcement. So the 2 million naira checks for the winners will be presented by Aqua Savings and Loans Limited. I don't know what name they will bear then, but the what do they call that check?
The big size check. What do they call it? They show you guys
the dumb check. The dumb check will be from Aqua Savings and Loans because from today the board chairman is here. The member of the board is here, the MD, CEO is here. So why can't they take a decision and become partners on the program? So that we've got the partnership. We're having a board meeting now.
They can give you a small office and you just sit and meet.
And we just need to quickly say thank you to the sponsor. Somebody has already given us the 2 million. We have already received the 2 million naira, and his name is Professor Ukanafun Jimmy. Is an Akwa Ibom-born medical doctor who used to be based in the Philippines, but right now has japat from the Philippines to Canada, and we're grateful to him. Ukanafun Foundation, thank you for sponsoring that prize. And we'll have at least 2-3 minutes at the end. That jingle will be played. Please follow the instructions and make sure you do that. Uncle, time to go home. Go back to your
guest. It's time for us to begin to wind down. Okay, so let me start with the chairman. Tomorrow you have a big event that is going to mark a new history, a new threshold, in your history as a bank. And you've not told us who you are inviting. Is it an enclosed event? Is the invitation open-ended? So, paint a picture of those who should be there tomorrow.
Okay, so in terms of the corporate Nigeria, our partners, and all we have the Central Bank of Nigeria will be here.
Okay.
The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation will be here. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria will be here. Those are the immediate people who relate to that regulatory level.
Okay.
Our development partners also will be here. A development in real estate, in housing, so we're going to have them here. We're going to have our customers, our key customers, of course, will be here. And it is our prayer, of course, definitely that not a prayer. Our owners, our head shareholder, His Excellency the Governor, who has always shown very strong right hand to whatever will benefit the bank.
Okay.
So we don't invite him. We know already this is
event.
Okay, so Pastor Umo Jacob, all of you are marketers primarily. Anybody who has something doing with the bank, must be, by instinct, by nature, a marketer. So assume that you're talking with some potential investors, some potential, account owners, account operators. Address them now in 30 seconds. Why it has to be Aqua Savings and Loans Limited.
Thank you. To you, customers, whether you had known us in the past, but this time and the future is most important because we have the human capital that can guarantee that your dealings with us is best practice. We also have the governance. I emphasize the governance. We have a crop of people that take charge, both at the board and management, and commit themselves to the highest level of professionalism in managing the institution. And of course, we have the emerging market for our state in terms of what we expect in the mortgage subsector. The state is being repositioned as a destination for mortgage business. The state government is involved in creating mortgages around the country, and in Uyo in particular, because we assume that, or we know that, many people are coming into this economy. And so Aqua Saving is your partner. And as this bank is making profit, it means that sustainability is guaranteed. And why don't you join this trend? The trend is moving. Please come into it. We're moving to higher ground. We're moving to a brighter future and destination. This is our time. And
fantastic.
This is for you and I.
Okay, MD, I remember when you told us at the stage of the program how you had to personally go marketing, talking to those high-profile account owners to try to woo them back and win back their confidence. I'm sure you are done with that category of customers. So we'd like you listen to Sylvanus, and of all the persons, you're one of us who really nodded. I mean, it would relish to the way he translated. You are a true son of Uran, and Michael Bush will always brag about that. So let's see how Uranish you are. We'd like you to market Aqua Savings and Loans Limited
in
Ibibio.
Agwai bo mi song. Agwai bo mi song. Mbok medi. Aqua Savings room. It's a very to one of my company. You give your bank. It may go on ball. If I know about it, you go you move Aqua Savings. You don't kind of Aqua Savings room. It are me, maybe Ben point my door for more medicine come for the other bank about your go for you. May you know was a good loan, but you are a yammer for Zanadi. Oh, you may medical MD. Me want to work in the provided for Cabinet say, Anam, young of Yanako, for Ben and Yammer. And you have been a principal return or no bank. I can't so nam to reach you for Akbum. Dika Quibum, Aqua Savings Akbum. You don't kind of Aqua Saving and come borrow. I come for the very safe Aqua Savings. More the Aqua Savings, when I'm a young kid. I did get bought me by a bank fence about the man young borrowed or Gayaba. Did it number Aqua Savings.
Fantastic. That's a true attack, boy. And that almost made his head swell. Get that ordinarily. Okay, so we'd like to thank you. This is where
we must go. Yes, Akadiyana Willie, thank you. Kingsley Boy, thank you.
David Raymond,
thank you. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow we have some great guests coming in. I'm not able to get it offhand now, but we have some great guests coming tomorrow, and you need to join us. But
I think the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Agric,
yes, and
if she's back, she should join us.
Yes, she's back.
Okay, so this is
and the Honorable Commissioner Sports.
Okay, all right, Mr. Paul Bassett.
Yes,
all right. So it's going to be a big
Agric and Sports
big outing tomorrow.
I don't know. You go to farm, you play football, you know. So.
All right, so this is where we must leave it. We'd like to thank you, Chairman of the Board of Aqua Savings and Loans Limited. Thank you for your time. Recording Decimal, Pastor Umo Jacob, thank you for having come. And then the Managing Director,
Pastor Dr.
Imelkon, would like to thank you. We look forward to tomorrow. All the cat that are in the back, we'll get to bring them out. All right, so we also like to thank Raphael Henry, our translator, Raphael Henry Achibong, and then our translator, Sylvanus Okban, and then Chuku Agu, Etini Karika, and Idong Esedna. On behalf of all of us, we'd like to thank you. Everybody. Thank you.
Cameraman, director.
All the cameraman, the directors, thank you for a wonderful contribution you've made to today's huge success that we've recorded. We're back here on the other side of 22 hours. Bravo, Michael Bush.
Goodbye from Uyo, Nigeria.
Bye-bye.
This is an information.
As part of our ongoing special anniversary radio TV online series, Governor Umo Eno at 29 guests, 29 days. Bush House, Nigeria, in collaboration with Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Information and Dr. Ukanafun-Orok Jimmy Foundation, presents a 2 million naira worth Governor Umo Eno Art 2 competition. Details of the competition are as follows. In not more than 200 words, discuss A. Governor Umo Eno's unique selling points. B.